Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today I'm going to be talking about some popular books that disappointed me or books that I strongly dislike, because hate's a very strong word to quote Adam from Beetlejuice. Oh, Beetlejuice. Okay, this is a complete side tangent and I'm sorry if you clicked on this video for popular books that I don't like, but Adam and Barbara from Beetlejuice deserve the world. I love them so much. Okay, that was a side point, but yes. So I try not to be negative too much on my channel because I'm quite a positive person. I feel like I'm quite happy and bubbly and I feel like that comes across, I don't know, hopefully. But occasionally I do like to talk about books that I dislike because I feel like it's fun. I feel like sometimes getting a bit ranty is quite cathartic. So yeah, we've got Boo here today. I feel like I'm filming with Boo, but none of these videos I've been filming today have been very like October-y. But you know, he's here. So and yes, so I don't know what I was saying. Oh god, this video is a disaster. Okay, so yeah, and I feel like I don't always talk a lot about the books I don't like. I just kind of don't mention them. So I feel like sometimes people don't even realise I've read them and I just like them. So yes, I'm going to be talking about them today. So the first one, so I'm gonna get off my like big three my big three, which I strongly dislike. Well, the first one is, I feel like objectively it's quite a good book. It disappointed me, but the next two are like, no, don't read them. So the first one is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. So I feel like this book it's a good book and the writing is beautiful, but I don't know, I feel like it just disappointed me. Like this and the kind of Mistborn books were kind of the like first two books that I really like, proper big adult fantasy books that I read. And like Mistborn, obviously I love like the Cosmere and everything, just my channel name. I have like loads of videos, Cosmere videos, so obviously I'm like a hardcore Cosmere fan. But then this one just really disappointed me compared to that. Well, I guess the writing is objectively like better than Sanderson's, but I just enjoy Sanderson's books so much more. And a reason I don't like Kvothe. I'm sorry if you're a Kvothe lover, but I just hate him. He's so like arrogant and just everything like goes right for him, which is kind of annoying. And yeah, and just all the like ladies like fawn after him. And I don't know, it feels just kind of like a wish fulfillment almost. And he like, yeah, like he can do no wrong kind of, and yeah, he just annoys me. And I feel like not a lot happens in this book. Like there's a good scene like a little bit of the way in, but then after that it's just him like living his life. And I do like those books sometimes, but I feel like you have to like the character to like that, and I just really don't like Kvothe. Yeah, so I feel like this book would be a lot better if we like followed Ori. I do actually like Ori, she's a good character, but yeah, or like even Diana, she's more interesting than Kvothe. So yeah, I don't like this really. It's not that I don't like it, it just disappointed me, I think is the right term. But the next two books I dislike and I could probably spend about 10 minutes ranting about both of them. So if you take one thing away from this video, is don't read these two books. Well, I mean, I guess you could read them if you really want to, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So yes. So that one is The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. I'm sorry if you love this series, because I know some people do, and that's fair. But I just really didn't like it. Like there was nothing about it that like sung out to me that kind of saved the book for me. So there's like some very problematic things, and I can occasionally excuse like a few problematic things, especially in fantasy that's like older and written by like men. But there was just nothing in this book to like save that, and some of the problematic stuff was really like apparent. Like first of all, like about 3 women characters get like fridged as soon as they're mentioned in the first like 50 pages. Like literally every woman character, as soon as you're introduced to her, a couple of pages later she's killed off. Then there are a couple of female characters like that come back later in the book, but one of them is horribly over-sexualized, and then the other one just kind of doesn't do that much. But she is kind of, I feel like Liv probably is the character with the most like promise. And then Kip, he's on my like hated character list as well. I probably hate him more than Kvothe, honestly. He's like, he just, I guess to be fair, he's a 15-year-old boy, but he just like just thinks about women's bodies all the time. Like, surely they can't, like, there's this scene where he's getting assassinated. Well, he's not getting assassinated, the assassin is trying to kill him, and all he's thinking about is this assassin's boobs. And I'm pretty sure at one scene they like fall off the balcony and his face gets like pushed up against her boobs, and that's just, ugh, why? Just why did someone feel the need to write that scene? That was just ridiculous. And then there's some horrific fat phobia as well. There's like one of the worst scenes I've ever read. That was just horrendous. Yeah, so that's just, it's just bad. And then, well, so yeah, the like plot, I guess, wasn't that interesting to me either. The only like saving grace was Gavin Guile. I quite liked him. But yeah, and like I guess the magic's kind of interesting, but I only read it like in May, and I don't even remember the magic system that much. I feel like it's something to do with colours, like different colours have different powers. But yeah, I think my hatred for Kip and the general like problematic elements, I just did not enjoy the book. So yeah. Also another, because I have to be positive, just for one thing, the audiobook narrator was good. I will give him that. So yeah. Okay, and then next we have the Dresden Files. The Dresden Files. So to be fair, I've only read Stormfront, so I can only talk about that one really. But I have heard that the second book isn't really much better, and I'm sure it does get better like later in the series. But yeah, the first one, it's honestly the worst book I've ever read in terms of portrayal of women, like misogyny and just everything. It's just horrendous. Like literally every page, Harry Dresden is, he's just thinking about, it's just like objectifying women and just like looking at them and like staring at the chest. There's one scene where they're like, he's at a restaurant with this woman, and I think he's trying to get like he's doing an interview or something, and he stares down her top, like at her boobs, and that's so inappropriate, especially because it's like a professional setting. They're not even on a date. She's like doing a newspaper interview or something, and yeah, and then he's just obsessed with sex. He's like the horniest character ever, and there's nothing wrong with being horny, but I feel like just the way it's written is just so like sleazy. Yeah, he's sleazy, that's the word. And I feel like the audiobook narrator didn't help because his voice was kind of sounded sleazy. I feel like I actually like that narrator, but just, I guess maybe it's good acting because the way he made Harry so sleazy. But just, yeah, it was just horrid. And yeah, no female characters have like any kind of agency. They're just like, the one female character who kind of has like potential, she spends like the climax of the book, she's just there to like be rescued by Harry to show how amazing Harry is. And yeah, he's just, I just hate him. And then like yeah, there's even a sentient doorknob thing called Bob, who's like talks about women and his experience with them, and that's just why. Because and this book disappoints me so much because I really love Jim Butcher's other series, Codex Lyra, and also Aeronauts Windlass, and then just reading that one kind of then made me realise that there was a few like problematic things in Codex Lyra. But I do feel like ultimately that series is like the goods outweighs the bad for me anyway. But yeah, Dresden Files was just, it was bad. If you're looking for alternatives, I would highly recommend White Trash Warlock by David R. Slayton. That's really fun, and I think it's YA, which Dresden Files isn't, but it has like all the things I wanted from that book, and like none of the misogyny, and it's LGBTQ, and it's so much fun, and the characters are so lovable. Yeah, so I would highly recommend that one. But yeah, just don't read the Dresden Files. Next we have Sadie. So this is more in the like books which I think a lot of people like, that they just went for me, rather than I think they're like objectively bad books. That's kind of different. So yeah, so Sadie by Courtney Summers. I don't know why I didn't like this one, because this one had so much hype like at the time, and I listened to the audiobook and everyone was saying like how fantastic the audiobook was, but I just didn't really like it. I feel like this maybe comes down to my like dislike of like thriller mysteries, but I just felt like, so it's told in like two timelines. We get Sadie's perspective and then this like podcast person who's like investigating her disappearance, and I just feel like they didn't add anything to each other, so you just kind of got the same information. So I feel like it just would have worked better if we just had Sadie's like POV all the way through, because yeah, and then also the ending, I didn't really like the ending that much, but I feel like some people would, because I don't like open endings really, but that one was a very open ending. So yeah, so I feel like that's kind of, and I just didn't really like connect, I guess, to Sadie, although it did have a kind of important message, but yeah, I just didn't really like it that much. Then we have the like Daughter of the Pirate King, Daughter of the Siren Queen series. That series, yeah, I just didn't really like it. The main character was super annoying. She was like one of the kind of the like I'm not like other girls type characters, and she just could do no wrong. I think that was the thing that really annoyed me. She like just every plan of hers would like succeed with no flaws. She was just like, yeah, she could just do anything and it would just kind of go well. And I feel like that's kind of, I don't know, it just felt like unrealistic, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I didn't really like that series. The Night Circus, I'm sorry Maddie, because she absolutely loves that book, but yeah, I just didn't like it. Like, I just didn't like the characters, except there's one character that I liked. What's his name? Is it Bailey? I don't know, they're like young kids I quite liked, but just, yeah, Celia and Marco, I did not like. They were just so boring, and also their romance was horrendous. Like, that wasn't a romance, and there was like zero kind of plot. Like, there was things that happened, but it just felt very like disjointed. It wasn't like a cohesive plot. And then they like, I feel like the ending was just kind of a mess as well, and yeah, I just didn't really like it. I feel like that book, if you like beautiful writing, then you'll probably enjoy it. I feel like read the book for the atmosphere rather than like the plot, I guess, the plot. But yeah, I just didn't like it. I feel like for books that are slow and have like beautiful writing, I need to like the characters, and I just didn't like the characters in the Night Circus. And I feel like sometimes when books are like overly flowery and overly like pretentious almost, I tend to not like them. I like books with beautiful writing, but not if they're like overly, and then I kind of lose the like story. And I think I tend to prefer like simpler writing, so then I can really like get in touch with the characters and just, yeah, kind of follow along, and it's easier to read as well. So yeah, I feel like sometimes those kind of books like feel like a chore to get through, but I feel like that is what some people love, and that's totally fair. So yeah, I'm glad the books like that exist. They're just not for me. Yeah, on a similar vein to that is one that I was really disappointed that I didn't like, because I felt like I was gonna love it, and that's This Is How You Lose the Time War. Because, I don't know, I just wanted to love this book so badly, but it just was not for me. It was like so pretentious, and it's almost like poems, I guess. It's almost like poetry, but it's not. It's like prose, and just yeah, I just didn't like it. The characters, there wasn't a plot really, and the characters were kind of meh to me, and it was supposedly like a romance, but I just did not feel the romance. And I think for me, for romance, I need the characters to meet, because it just didn't work. Just like letters, I don't know, I feel like I like it when like characters actually can like interact and like banter with each other and stuff. So yeah, I didn't like that at all. And I feel like novellas tend to be, there are a few novellas which I really love, but sometimes they just they miss the mark, unfortunately. Okay, I'm looking at all the books I read 2-star, and you know what's on there? Kissing the Coronavirus, but I actually kind of enjoyed that book, so that's not going on here. Okay, so 2 more. So the next one, oh no, 3 more. So the next one is Sail in a Sense by Josiah Bancroft, I think. And I don't know, I just didn't like this book that much. It just wasn't really for me. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I feel like this one, I feel like this is another one where you have to like the character to enjoy it, and I didn't really like the character. And also I feel like the plot was him like trying to find his dead wife or something, or trying to find his wife. I don't think she was dead. I think he was just trying to find her. She'd been lost in this like tower thing, and I don't know, I just didn't really like it. Or I feel like the characters like motivations were kind of made sense. I don't know, I just didn't like it, and like it just felt kind of, yeah, a bit boring. So yeah. And then we have The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And this is another one which I kind of wanted to like, but I just didn't. I felt like it was going to be like one of those fun books, like Library of the Unwritten or something like that. And I really enjoyed that one. But then this one, it just kind of, yeah, it was just very meh. And I didn't really, yeah, didn't really get anything from it, I guess. So yeah, that's that one. And finally, we have Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell, and this is another one which is kind of slightly problematic, but also, well, I like Sebastian de Castell's other series, so like the Spell Slinger ones, but yeah, Traitor's Blade I just didn't really enjoy. There were some like questionable things, like I'm pretty sure there's a rape scene or like a non-consensual sex scene which was a bit iffy. And then I feel like there's some questionable things with regards to women, but also it was just kind of boring. Like, yeah, and it's like meant to be this like swashbuckling tale, but I feel like it just doesn't quite hit that like mark for me anyway. I didn't really like the characters that much. So yeah, so that's that one. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, if you have any comments, nice comments please, I'm not gonna deal with hate, then leave them down below. Yes, I always respect all opinions unless your opinions are wrong. Like, yeah, so yeah, it's okay to have opinions, but then if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you next time.